Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast today that we have gathered on this summery day.
Yeah.
But we are making it happen, and I'm really happy because I'm getting to do it with my very close friend Reeti, our
Hi
co-host
guys.
for the day, where we will be sharing our own personal stories, our triumphs, the challenges that we have faced being part of this generation,
Yeah.
and creating an authentic, safe space for everyone to discuss around these topics. So, like I was saying, Reeti, that we both have been, uh, practicing gratefulness, and we realize we understand the value of being kind. And from there, I think our friendship has also evolved
Yeah.
because we have evolved as human beings, and now the person we are today, and I think we really cherish each other as friends.
When I come across people who are genuine to me, I really do cherish them, and these are the kind of relationships and friendships that I really look forward to.
There were literally no layers between us when we had our
Obviously.
first conversation at Blue Tokai, right?
Yeah.
And from there, it just picked it up, and
Yeah.
it was organic.
Yeah.
And it's been more than 2 years now
Yeah. Yeah.
since we've been friends,
Uh,
and our friendship has also evolved in that
yeah.
manner where we have evolved as human beings.
And I feel
uh,
like you would agree on this that it takes a lot to like remove the outside personality and get to the real, like it's like
yeah,
you're being vulnerable to the
exactly,
other person, and I think it
exactly.
takes a lot of like strength and say like genuineness to be that
Yeah,
kind of a person,
it's
right?
not easy to be kind in this
Yeah.
world, I'll definitely say that,
Yeah.
but that still doesn't mean that you shall not.
Yeah.
So I think that is what where we share our core values
Yeah.
in, and that's why we are able to have those conversations in detailed manner.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that makes us pretty much similar is that we are very ambitious people at the end of the
Yeah.
day. And the idea is that we want to surround ourselves with ambitious people
Yeah.
because it's all about energy that we
Yeah.
understand. We talked about this,
Yeah.
right? And it's the exchange of that energy that we both want to
Yeah.
uplift each other.
Yeah, and you've done that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for myself, but
Likewise.
you've done that for me at multiple points in my life. So like, I completely understand and I relate to that.
Yeah. So
That's
I
that.
think uh, having this podcast today here with you is just, I think that shows that
Yeah,
what sort of friendship we have, that we are
yeah,
super comfortable
yeah.
to record our conversation and
That's
share it
true.
with our friends and
Yeah,
family, which is the idea behind doing this podcast.
yeah,
And just sharing that message that, okay, thank you, to our parents or to our friends or to
yeah,
our siblings or anyone who we entrust with, that
yeah,
what you guys have made us today what we are, and
yeah.
vice versa.
And I feel like maybe such conversations can actually enable people on a larger scale to just be themselves. Like I
Yes.
genuinely believe that like the environment today that we have, and say like we're recording this from Delhi, and like both of us are
Yeah.
based out of Delhi, which is probably the city of sin. So I feel like that the environment literally kind of like enables you to like not show your true self, and you're
Yeah.
always so guarded,
Yeah.
right? But like as a whole, if we all just start to be a little more kinder, a little more true to ourselves and the people around
Yeah.
us, I
Yeah.
think it'll be a much comforting world than it is today, maybe.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
think the recent example that I can just think of is that now I'm friends with your friends and you are friends with
Yeah.
mine, because I feel that we genuinely connect with kind and empathetic people. Us, or personally, if I talk about myself, I'll share this experience. I have developed a lot of patience, which I've always struggled with. So that's something that has really helped me because things take time. With our friendship also, it took us time to get here, right? two
It did,
years.
yeah.
So I'll just say that practicing gratefulness, it's been 2 years since I started actually practicing it, and it's been really helping me personally. And I'd really like to talk about these things, which has helped me to become a better human being. And Riti, with you also, I've seen so many positive changes, and I just love it. So if you can just share, few of your experiences that has helped you to navigate life's roller coaster.
Yeah, I feel like for me, the whole like gratefulness and everything definitely comes from like my spiritual journey that's been on the side. And you very well know about it because you've kind of been a part of it. I started this journey 2 years back.
Yeah.
And to give you guys context, I'm a Isha follower, Isha devotee, if I may. Yeah, that. So you literally know from the first
Yeah.
day, like from the first time that I went to the ashram to like now. Obviously, I think like with life, like you said, like when you're working, at one point work seems to be the only highlight. Like the
Yeah.
career and the hustle
It
bit is
does.
definitely something that's kind of like an highlight. But then over time, you realize that okay, that's not the only thing that's playing in my life.
Yeah.
But okay, I just have like, I know I'm digressing a little bit, but like I just have a genuine question for you that like when we talk about being kinder to other people, um, I don't know how can I explain this in the easiest possible way, but
Yeah.
like, do you believe in one soul consciousness?
I
Because I
think.
think
Yeah.
that is what gets me to respect the other person
Yeah.
because I do not see this as you and me.
Yeah.
Sure, we're
Yeah.
different bodies, we're different beings, but I feel that we're the same consciousness at the end of the, like that's what gets me to be like to like treat everyone equally and
Equally.
to
Yeah.
also like treat the trees or like human
Yeah.
beings or everything around me as equal.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I think that's a very, very good question, Reeti. And I'll definitely answer this by giving an example from my favorite band, which is called Tool, and their lyrics, which talks about that we are one universe. So I really genuinely feel that it is that way. And like you mentioned, that if you see everyone with equal eyes in the same light, you will be much more kinder to them. And I
Yeah,
think it's a very, very thoughtful message that you're
yeah,
putting out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'll also like share you this little instance. You know that I've just come back from Isha
Yeah.
Foundation
Yeah.
like 10 days back. So, over there, for those 10 days, we weren't supposed to wear chappals and we were supposed to be barefoot. And like, they actually took us for like farming and everything
Wow.
barefoot.
Wow.
And like you're supposed to eat your food with no spoon and just your hands, which is
Okay.
honestly like very
Yeah.
city, but like it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. Okay, like
It
at
is.
least
It is.
I've never
I
done
need a
that.
spoon.
Yeah,
I need a
same,
spoon.
same,
Yeah.
right? And especially like the dal, it's not like your thick dal. Okay, it's like
It's
leaky.
leak.
It's leaky,
Yeah. Yeah.
watery. So
Yeah.
it's like super fucking
Yeah.
hard to like eat.
Yeah.
But however, like my point being that like 10 days of doing these two things, I think it really kind of diminishes the whole concept of, oh, this is me, that's the floor, or that's
Yeah.
the mud.
Yeah.
Because when you're barefoot, it's like everything's you, right? Like like,
I
do I
get
make
it. I get
sense,
it.
right?
Yeah. Similarly for me, I think because for 2024, I'll just share this out there. My first goal was to travel, and I've been traveling
Wow.
extensively, and especially trekking because I love trekking. With trekking also, you have very limited means,
Of course.
and it's a hard trek depending on what trek you're doing. But uh, you have limited means, and you just have your will and your legs and body to take everything with you and reach to the top, no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
So that is also something that when you're one with the nature, one with the universe, and you just recent experience, I was doing Kirganga trek with my brother, and you can only hear the sounds of waterfall, the birds, the jungle. You
Yeah.
hear the noises of the jungle, which is very serene and just
Yeah.
uh, you know coming out of the city noise, no network, nothing, complete digital detox, and you're just one with yourself
Yeah.
and one with the nature, which you
And
initially
you
talked
also
about.
went for EBC. I'm sure like the
Yeah,
limited resources is something that kind of teaches you gratefulness. Like, I don't
yeah.
know if you felt that.
Thanks for putting it out there. So just to let everyone know, EBC
Yeah.
means Everest Base Camp, which is a trek done in Nepal, and it is one of the highest points for base camps at 17,500 feet above sea level. So yeah, doing that was challenging in its own manner. It was a really, really great experience personally for me. So I got to do it on my birthday, and
Uh,
yeah, like it changes you as a person, and it really grounds you as a
yeah.
person. It humbles you down because when you uh, trek to that mountain, it's just pictures can't explain it, the videos can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's something that you experience.
Yeah.
So talking about practicing gratefulness and being kind, Reeti, I really feel that it could be one of the smallest things that you can be kind about, right? We don't have to do things in a much larger manner. But I
Yeah.
feel, just minding our own business and not
Yeah.
interfering in anybody else's business is also the act of kindness, you'll say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so I think those small, those the things that you do
Yeah.
eventually becomes big in a larger perspective, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They
So what are
do.
these small things that you feel that you do sometimes, or to just uh, c- calm yourself down for the day, or just to understand how your day was? Do you have any cheat codes or tips for us?
Like, are we talking about gratitude per se?
Yeah, how you see it in your perspective? I just want to understand.
Yeah, so for me, like, that since I've been meditating since 2 years, it really brings a shift in how you see things.
Yeah,
So for me, I actually, like, I'm not saying this for just saying it. I don't see myself and anyone else as different. Like, I see, like, okay, just to like give you a little nitpick, like
yeah,
during our meditations, by the end of the course, like the first course, they say that just see this as you're the mother to the whole world.
yeah, yeah,
Once you start thinking like that,
yeah,
you possibly can't um you possibly can't hate on something, or even if something bad happens to it, it's not like, oh, like, why is this happening, but you see it on a larger picture that, okay, like, this is my universe, I'm a mother to the universe. So I think it just kind of like calms you down
yeah,
particularly. But having said that, like, what are those small things that I do to like keep myself sane throughout the day,
yeah,
if that's
yeah.
what you were like getting at?
Sort of, yeah,
Is I think it is two things, yeah. Like, I mean, I start my day with like my daily meditation. That's like something that I can't not imagine not like I can't imagine not meditating.
yeah,
That's how much
yeah,
it's important for me. And I also like listen to a lot of spiritual music, and that
yeah,
actually really helps me like calm down. I don't know, like, I think music, like you even spoke about Tool,
yeah,
the band that you really like. For me also, I feel like music and me are very deeply intertwined. So even if I'm having a bad day and I end up listening to this any song that I really like, I think it has the power to like change my mood
yeah, yeah,
drastically within that day.
yeah.
But that's how I deal with it. Like,
So that's a
what
very,
about
very important pointer for me also. Music has always played like a very larger role in my life. It always enhances my mood.
yeah,
I just love to dance.
that's
I think
yeah,
we just like to dance. I think
yeah,
that's something we share
yeah,
as a common interest as well. And you don't have to. So maybe a small tip that I just was reading about, that maybe you can start your day by like a small dance,
yeah,
or like how you are meditating, because it just enhances your mood and you are more
yeah,
chirpy and happy,
yeah,
and
yeah,
these small things. And I think these small things only which makes you much more happier and content in life. What I've been how I am dealing with life, just hearing the sound of birds when I'm waking up, or just happy the fact that, okay, I'm grateful that I have a loving family, a support system of friends like you guys, who really, where I cherish these friends. Uh, just, small things in life, and you are happy with that. And
yeah,
obviously you are ambitious at the same time. You are putting in the hours to make whatever your dreams are come
yeah.
true. But like I said, it's a whole part of like everything happens for a reason, I believe. Um, everything is
I think
which is
that's, I'm just gonna like intersect
yeah,
there, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
please.
you said a very interesting point
Yeah,
that everything happens for a reason. I think the moment that you just accept that like the universe has got your back,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think your perspective just changes.
exactly.
I think it brings like, at
So
least for
no,
me.
definitely, definitely. And I'll just put a pointer in this what you said, that universe has your back, but at the same time you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also blended with the fact that I this is something that I genuinely just like really stick to and abide to for my life, is that when you do something with the right intentions,
Yeah,
it'll never go wrong. So like, even when it comes to say like your career or your work or your general life, if you're doing things with the right intention, and if you don't have any like malice in your
malice. Yeah,
heart,
yeah,
particularly, I think the universe has got you sorted. And
Definitely, yeah.
that's where like I think you also get the energy to like give your 100%, right? Like
True.
I'm sure you must have gone through days that like you probably want to do your best, but like you aren't feeling 100% or
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. I genuinely think that like being truthful to the work that you're doing,
yeah.
truthful to whatever you're doing, and whatever you're saying also. I mean, you can lie to the world, but you can't lie to
Like
yourself,
yourself, yeah.
right?
True,
So
true.
I think
Yeah,
that really clicks to me.
true. Just I think the message or the point out here is that just be true to yourself. If
Yeah,
you're true to yourself, you will be true to the world, and you
yeah,
will get it back, right?
yeah,
Uh, uh, just put your 100% in the work, that whatever you want to manifest, you want to achieve. Uh,
yeah,
be honest, be truthful, be kind. Obviously, easier said than done,
yeah,
and it comes with time where you
yeah,
have to understand why we are talking about such things. And I feel that we are also working on ourselves to. We
yeah,
are not saying we are perfect or we are doing it
100%.
100%, but there is the right attempt of doing such things, and giving our best shot every day, no matter how it looks like. But on that day you gave your 100%.
Okay, so like sort of we've spoken so much about being kind and being genuine, but I feel like all of this kind of really paves from your childhood. I feel like your childhood and your parents and
Yeah,
your family dynamics really shaped that up for you. And this is something that we've also never really spoken about. So I'm just
yeah,
generally very curious that how did your initial years and your rapport with your family kind of pitched in for the person that you are today?
sure. uh, so I'm the younger sibling, obviously spoiled in
Talk.
yeah, so
I'm the
spoiled.
elder sibling, that's
It
why.
shows, right? Maybe it
Yeah.
shows. So yeah, I've been spoiled and pampered in that manner, and I honestly, with time, I found this, but I'm really grateful to have such parents, because I have experienced life. I've seen so much, and I've come to this conclusion that I really cherish my parents, and I'm super grateful to have them as my parents, because they have literally shaped me for the person that I am today. And I honestly feel that even if I become like the 1% of what they are, I think I'll be successful. That's what defines success for me, and I'll be very content and happy in life. Also, the sanskar that has been embedded not just from my parents but also grandparents who
Yeah.
I've stayed with, and really miss them. But super lucky, super grateful to live with them, and I cherish my childhood. I don't think I'll change anything. So yeah, I'll share more details, like where and how why I feel that. But the message is out there that I check my privilege, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have my parents and great grandparents, even my brother, my elder brother. Uh, uh, I just love them.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
feel like both of us actually, like even with our siblings, like I've met your brother, you
Yeah,
yet to meet mine,
yeah,
but we've spoken about this, that how like both of us actually have like a very strong rapport with our siblings as well.
yeah,
And I think that really like kind of builds a pillar for you. And
yeah.
like likewise, like even like with my parents, I think they obviously have a lot of like contribution to who I am today.
Yeah. Also, you were just talking about that. How your dad has been into
Yeah,
spirituality, and how he has shaped you.
yeah.
So please share more about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like, this is kind of crazy because I've always been like a huge like follower for my mom and everything. But like with my spiritual journey, I actually credit like 90% of it, which is a lot. Like, I don't say this very often, but I credit like 90% of it to my father
Yep.
because he's also spiritual religious for his era. And like I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but you know how every family has a certain topic that they talk about in the car when they're going to like a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
For us it was always that, like as kids my dad would just like casually drop in stuff from the Vedas or like the Bhagavad Gita, and I think hearing all of that at a very young age um kind of just seeds the spiritual thought within you. So, he used to like, I'll just say one thing that has stuck with me till date is that he would always say that किसी को नीचा दिखा के तुम ऊपर नहीं हो जाते.
Yep, yep.
And I think the moment you think like that, the whole circling back to, being kind, not hating on anyone, it just comes there because
Yeah.
it's not a competition anymore. And my dad also actually he prays every day, and he's been significantly consistent with it. And I think I'd like to credit him, and I think that's where I get my consistency with the whole meditations.
Definitely. I think I have had the similar experience because my dad is also very spiritual. He prays every day. Uh, Honestly, sometimes I'm not able to understand. Uh,
Yeah.
I've also tried my hands on. I've been keeping fast on every Tuesday for the past 4 years
Yeah.
in doing that, which is a really nice habit. Killing two birds with one stone. One is the religious aspect to it, Jai Hanumanji, and
Oh, yeah, Hanuman Bhakt
yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So I've been, like I said, keeping fast on every
Yeah.
Tuesday, which
Oh,
is
yeah, that's
for
Hanuman.
Hanumanji.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the same time, because it's a detox for my body and fasting in
Yeah.
our, if you want to talk about our Vedas or just the overall uh, scientific research that says that how fasting really helps you. We'll come into that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about the things that I've learned from my parents, I think it's something that I've always seen that they have always been super helpful to everyone out there. Whoever, uh, that's what I've learned from them. That the biggest joy for a human is to give it back,
Yeah.
which you can feel. I'm still trying to learn those things, inculcate in myself, but I've seen this characters, uh, strong charactership in my parents and even my grandparents. They were the one who used to welcome everyone. They've always given back to the people, and that shows, how other people treat them.
Yeah.
It actually shows
Yeah.
because that's the respect that they've earned in with time, and that is the sort of human that I want to be. I want
Yeah.
you, at the end of the day, you want to be respected, right, in a
Yeah.
society or among your peers or friends or family. Coming to our third questions, and we are having that conversation in a question answer manner, and it's a conversation. So talking about life's life being a roller coaster and navigating its ups and downs. Uh, you know, we all have, I feel that we figure out certain do's and don'ts that works best for us, which
Yeah.
helps us to work in a best possible manner. So what are those do's and don'ts that you figured out for yourself, Reeti?
Yeah, for me, I think one of the key do's is my daily meditations, which
Okay.
I've been practicing since like 2 years now. It's been 2 years of me actively meditating. And I feel like it just brings the sense of mental sanity. And for me, having that sense of Zen helps me focus and get to like other aspects of my life. And yeah, like I'm curious, what's that one thing for you?
Definitely. First thing first, I really enjoy your aura. It's a very positive,
Likewise.
and we are the people who sense energies, right?
Yeah,
Maybe I have that trait in me as a Piscean.
yeah,
You have that spirituality going on for
yeah,
you, so we do
yeah.
see the each other's energy, and I think there's a very good positive vibes all around,
100%.
right? So coming back to your question, Reeti, for me that's running.
Yeah,
4 years back, I found my passion in it. I keep talking about it. I'm very vocal about my passion, which is running, how it has helped me to become what I am today, how it has shaped me as a human being. Uh, uh, a lot of life lessons that I've learned from running that, it doesn't happen in a day. You have to be consistent. You have to be
yeah,
disciplined. It's all about, it only takes two things if you want to achieve anything. It's consistency and discipline.
yeah,
And you lead by example at the end of the day. We are
yeah,
those sort of people, right? So with running, like you mentioned, for you it's meditation.
yeah,
Running is my form of meditation where I am able to be one with my body, mind and body connection.
yeah,
I am breathing in that manner that you know I'm feeling the runner's high, which truly exists.
yeah.
So that's my passion, and I am very vocal about it. And there are few quotes also that I keep saying. You have
You
heard,
drop one, yeah.
you've heard me saying that. So I lift for vanity and I run for sanity. So
Yeah,
these are the go-to quotes that I have.
yeah,
Running has helped me to keep my sanity in check in that manner. Uh,
yeah,
to know more about your meditation, how it has helped you, what what really gives you the tick when you do meditation. If you can talk about more.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, see, 2 years back when I first went to the Isha Foundation, before that I was a lot into like reading spiritual texts, and I thought that I was spiritual on
Yeah,
my way to enlightenment, only to realize that that wasn't cutting it for me back
yeah,
then, right? So I went for this course, and like, like I think meditation is something that's there on like a lot of people our age, and that's something that they want to do, right? And I had also gone there with the similar aspiration of becoming a meditator. And something that you highlighted, which is I think extremely is the common factor for like running or even like meditation, is consistency.
yeah,
So I just promised myself that, dude, okay, I'm gonna go for this course and I'm gonna meditate once I come back, and I'm not gonna leave it. That's the only promise that I made for myself. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go there. I'm spending the money, I'm spending the time, but I have to make sure that I do it for the rest of my life. And of course, like if I had to like talk about that journey of like 2 years of me meditating,
yeah,
once I came back, initially I was doing it, okay, that it's gonna help me, it's gonna help me become a better person, or like I was seeking something out of it. That's how
yeah,
it started. And I did obviously gain a lot from it, like physically, mentally. I've also spoken to you about how like I had PCOD, and like that actually was cured because of
yeah.
like of 1 year of me meditating and stuff like that. And I feel now I've actually come to a point wherein it's not about um, seeking any more from that meditations, because that's how deeply ingrained it is
Yeah,
in my
muscle
lifestyle.
memory. Yeah,
Yeah, and also like talking about passionate, of course, initially started off as something I was extremely passionate about. But I think the magic of meditation is that once you start meditating, it just makes you passionate about life,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
crazy, right? So, like from everything that you're doing throughout your day, you're extremely involved and passionate about
Becoming
that.
one with the universe, right? Yeah,
Kind of, right? So, that's how I'd like term that. And I'd like to also highlight that how being meditative has kind of pushed me to become to like actually focus on other aspects of my life as well. So like growing up, I wasn't the healthiest
yeah,
kid, and like
yeah,
my mom being a dietitian and all, like
yeah.
I didn't really follow her a lot, right?
Exactly.
But I think once you start looking out for your body and you actually care about yourself, you realize that discipline is the highest form of self-care, and I
Yeah, yeah.
genuinely
Wow.
abide by that.
From my perspective, from my experience, I would like to share that, when you said that that one good habit, which is running for me, you start eating healthy, right? Because you want to be better at your runs.
Yeah,
You start working out because again, it helps you to be better at your runs.
runs.
It opens your mind because honestly, just from my experience, I used to people used to talk about Messi being their favorite footballer because he's naturally gifted, and nothing I will not take away from him. I love him, where he has proved himself to be the best in the world. I truly believe that. But there is another guy who has proved himself every time, which is Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And he has showed that with consistent hard work, the discipline that he has
Yeah,
showed, he has become the number one footballer in terms of Messi. And a whole respect to that guy. And once you do it, because when I started running, showing up every day, doing small runs, large runs, anything, but doing it, being consistent, being disciplined, how hard it is. And
yeah,
only then you experience that what that guy has achieved, right?
yeah,
Because he showed up every day, worked his ass off. And we have all the examples out there: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, right? Tiger
yeah,
Woods, like all these people who have showed up every day since the very beginning of their life and proved themselves to be the best in the world.
yeah,
And another great guy I really admire and I follow and live up by his words, it's Muhammad Ali. Hard work beats talents, that's his saying. And there's so many other quotes that he says that I love. If my mind can conceive it, my heart can believe it, so I can achieve it.
yeah,
Like these are the
yeah.
words of the champions of the world.
Mm,
And it exists for a reason, but you can only feel that once you experience it, you put down the work,
yeah,
right? So for running has taught me a lot. Similarly, if I want, so I've been training for a full marathon, and the my another goal for this year is to do a complete full marathon, which is 42.2 kilometers. Massive feeling I think I'll get after doing EBC. I
Yeah,
think that's the feeling that I'm chasing.
yeah,
So I've done few half marathons, and when I was training for them, I realized that I can't run on first day 21 kilometers. Right?
of
I
course.
It took me more than a year of training, of showing up every day by starting with 3 kilometers, five
Yeah,
kilometers, 7, 10, and
yeah,
it was after a year only that I was able to run like a half marathon
right.
with ease.
Yeah,
But so it's all about, contributing those small portions every day with your
yeah.
consistency and your discipline, and that's how you form the ultimate habit.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I feel like something interesting that you mentioned was having these goals,
yeah,
right? So like once you get into it, like you said that you have your marathons and you're preparing for something,
yeah,
right? And I think likewise, like I've spoken to you about this, that how there are like these levels of meditations,
yep,
and I
yeah,
had mentioned to you that the highest form of the meditation that Isha Foundation offers is Samyama, for which I'm actually preparing. And for
okay,
that, like you need to be on like a raw fruit veggies only
yeah,
diet, which is
yeah.
something
It's
that's like
tough.
it's challenging
It's
for me.
super
Like
challenging.
I hate veggies, guys. So like
uh,
I'm on that journey of, like you said,
yeah,
you're just preparing for that bigger goal. And I feel like I just want to highlight a little bit on the consistency part, because a lot of people, like even when I'm sure when you're talking about your journey to, like, let's say your friends, a lot of people come to you and they say that, okay, how are you being able to do it every single day?
yeah,
I think you're not supposed to see the larger picture. At
yeah,
least that's how I see it. I don't say that, okay, this whole month I have to meditate. It's just take each day as it comes.
exactly.
So just every day, like you just gotta make sure that, like, this is something that I gotta do for the day, and you get it
Exactly.
done.
Yeah,
Don't look at the larger pictures.
yeah.
Just look at it
Don't be
as yeah,
overwhelmed by the
yeah,
macro goals
yeah,
you have,
yeah,
but
yeah.
one day at a time
100,
approach,
100%.
right?
Yeah,
Showing
yeah,
up every day, but you show
yeah.
up every day.
Show up every day.
Show up
Yeah, yeah.
every day.
That's about it.
Uh,
And I'm pretty sure, like with you, it's not that every single day your performance must be at 100. I'm
yeah,
guessing, right? Like
yeah,
there must be days that, like, say you had a very good run, but then there might be days that you didn't run as much as you would, but
yeah,
you showed up.
yes,
And same is for me, right? Like there are days that I really go deep into my meditations, but then there are days that it's a little disrupted day. Say like my DD's, like, making a lot of
noises.
noises in
Yeah,
the morning, but it's just about, you got to sit there, bro. You got to sit there and you
yeah,
got to do it. I think that's
exactly.
about it. Yeah,
So like you said, a very well put point. I could be feeling only 40%
yeah,
of what I could do
yeah,
today, right? And even if I do that 40%, it still makes 40 out of 40
yeah,
100%. So
yeah,
it's still 100%. It can vary.
yeah.
It can obviously
And it
vary.
will vary,
It
I
will
think.
vary, right?
Yeah,
That's the how you
yeah,
navigate life's ups and downs.
yeah,
It's not just it's
yeah,
the highs all the time. You
yeah,
see the lows, but how you react to those low days, I think
yeah,
that what shows character. That's what builds character,
yeah.
right?
And there's this like beautiful quote by Dalai Lama which says that, like, emotions or whatever, like say emotions are like waves. So
Yeah,
it might rise one day, but
yeah,
then it will come down. It doesn't mean that you're going to be stagnant. Like even with meditations or, like getting into like all of this stuff, people think that, oh, you're going to be like on a certain level throughout your journey. It doesn't work like that. It's
yeah,
going to be ups and downs, like you said. So I think it's just about then looking at the larger picture. I think
exactly.
in that
And
moment,
I
yeah.
think the message from this conversation is what we both really strongly feel is that it's very individualistic, right? Everyone can find what works best for them.
Yeah,
For me, it could be running. For her, it's meditation. For you, it could be workout, gym,
yeah,
Zumba, maybe swimming, who knows what,
yeah,
cycling. There's so many things to do. You just have to find what works best for you, what you really enjoy. And the idea is
yeah,
to enjoy the process,
yeah,
because you will, and it becomes, with time, it becomes your muscle memory, part of your
yeah,
lifestyle. This is the sort of lifestyle you want to live, right?
yeah,
Making those healthier choices each day, because it is never easy, honestly. भूख बहुत लगती है, बहुत cravings होते हैं.
yeah,
I have a major sweet tooth. It's not
yeah,
easy to be on a diet, like, or in a
yeah,
controlled diet, because you want to run a marathon. But it's just that you enjoy the process
yeah, it
and you
does.
show up each day, and no matter how it goes, you did your best.
Yeah.
And I think this has been the overall conversation till what we have discussed about that. In whatever thing you decide to do, you give your 100%, and your 100% could vary, and it is very individualistic. You have to find what works
Yeah.
best for you. With time, being consistent with my workouts and running, I realized that I really, really enjoy running. And for the first time in my life, in my 25 years, I found passion in something.
Wow.
And this is the one message, and I will emphasize on this. Once you find your passion, don't ever leave it.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave it. No
Yeah.
matter how hard the days get, you can take a pause. You can be distracted. You can might be doing some other things because
Yeah.
things keep happening, but never leave it. You
Yeah.
can always go back to your core, always go back to your passion, find that what makes you happy,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we have been trying to do.
Yeah.
And again, it's again science, right? At the end of the
Yeah.
day, chasing dopamine from all these activities, it's all
Yeah.
science. You can put religious aspect or spiritual aspect to it, but at the same time, you can there's a science behind it, and
Yeah.
we keep on reading about it. We see so many podcasts, so many books.
Yeah.
But yeah, reading it, like you said that you used to read books,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That really
But once you
helps. Yeah.
started practicing it,
Yeah.
it really,
Yeah.
really,
It's a game changer.
it's a game changer.
Yeah, it
Wow.
is. Yeah.
So really strong messages out there,
Yeah.
Riti, that don't just read about it. Be a doer.
Yeah, yeah, I think yeah.
I think we both
Yeah.
describe ourselves are doers.
Doers,
We are
yeah.
doers. That's one adjective that we can say.
Yeah.
She's a meditator, but at the end of the day, she's a doer.
Yeah.
I'm a doer. We
Yeah.
do things. We're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So beautiful messages out there,
Yeah.
Riti.
I think putting yourself around like-minded people is something that helps me refuel my energies, and I'm sure you kind of agree with that. So, what's your take on being around like-minded people and them pushing you to like follow your goal?
Definitely. Again, like I said, Riti, you always put out the perfect pointers, and the examples you give, we can really correlate and learn from it. Yep. And with me, like like I talked about that, I've always that sort of person who likes to lead by example. I would rather walk the talk rather than just talking the talk. But for me, like I said, having that community. So while I've been running, I've found people who actually pushed me. The first when I started my running journey, I had a running partner, Ishan. I still miss
Shout
him.
out to Ishan.
Shout out to Ishan. That we used to run together, and he used to overtake me like 2.5 rounds of the way we used to run.
Yeah.
And I set him as my benchmark. You set people as your benchmark. Okay, I want to be at this level, and after running after a large 1 year time, we did our first half marathon together, and we literally finished at the same time. It was such a beautiful moment. We have photographs and everything. I really cherish those times. So you benchmark what sort of person you want to be like, and you work towards it, and then you level up. If
Yeah.
and you enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Similarly, talking about how to handle those distractions. Now I have a community around me. Again, shout out to all my cousins, my brother Weber, my cousins Hardik, Sarthak, Saksham, my colleagues Tejas, and Ashish. These are the people, and Anish, who I met from EBC Trek, who have showed up and done a 5 kilometer or a 10
Yeah.
kilometer run with me. And on the days when I am not feeling motivated, or feel like, okay, I can skip a day, but these guys showed up and show up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, yeah, even I need to go.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of having those like-minded individuals around
Yeah.
you, and having that community around you who pushes you for the good. I think the overall idea of doing this podcast, that is to send out the message that how to uplift each other.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing
Yeah,
for each other.
100%.
You motivate me, I look up to you, I respect you
Likewise.
so much,
Yeah.
and you are an ambitious woman, and I see it, and
Yeah.
that's what drives me, and I think that's what drives you at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Riti, do you have any people like this who pushes you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that you spoke about this whole benchmark concept, because I haven't like spoken about this person. It's crazy. I don't know if I've mentioned about him to you as well. So there was this this dude in like my college. His name is Parikshit. Shout out to
Shout out.
Parikshit. So he was an Isha meditator, and we've never spoken in college, okay? But I knew a lot about him through his friends. Like we had common friends, okay? So I just knew a lot about him. And once I got onto the journey is when like I spoke to him over text for the first time. So I used to always look up to him, and what we need right now is that if you have friends around you who are uplifting you and pushing you to go in a certain direction, I think that's just beautiful. And
Yep, yep.
yeah,
Another thing I remember that you talked about, your mother also runs, and she's been
yeah,
doing
yeah,
uh, some runs like
yeah,
Vedanta
yeah,
marathons, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's also beautiful. And I think
yeah,
you look up to her as well,
yeah,
because
100%,
at her age she's also
100%.
showing up,
Yeah,
and it also
yeah,
pushes you at the end of the day,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
For me also, shout out to my mom. She also showed up for one of the runs, and
yeah,
I've seen her to be active for the longest of time. I really don't know how she does it or how my
yeah,
parents does it. I am trying,
yeah,
but yeah, you set benchmark,
yeah,
and you try to go there and
yeah,
then beyond, and that's the idea. Beautiful conversation. We
100%.
wanted to do this for the longest of time.
Yeah,
Finally, I think we are grateful
yeah.
that we are able to do this
Do
today,
this.
and figure
Shout
this
out to
out.
you, man,
Yeah.
for like making that
Um,
extra effort and pushing us through this plan and
likewise,
making
likewise.
it happen.
I think it's
Doer.
we both are able to accomplish this together.
Yeah,
So I really would like to shout out for Reeti,
yeah,
co-host for today.
yeah,
Like I said, I won't be doing with anybody else than with her. At least my first podcast. And looking forward to more discussions with you, Reeti.
100%. There's so much to talk about.
There's so
Let's
much to talk
go.
about, because for the next time we would have done so many things again,
Yeah,
because we are doers. And I think final shout out to our family and our friends
yeah,
for being our support system.
yeah,
We really love you and respect you,
yeah.
and overall we'll just try to give out a very positive message out
Yeah.
there, and we'll end it up on a high five.
Yay.